Ay. Otra vez. Come here. Let me say something. I remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, those precious memories, a city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. I remember Tampa, and she remembers me. Yeah. She remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TVCN, the home of the Tampa Native Show. Join your host, Mario Nunez, as he celebrates growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, your host, Mario Nunez.
She remembers me.
All right. Okay. You never know what's going to happen here on the Tampa Native Show, because I got to be honest with you. It's 7 o'clock. It's Thursday. And we got the band back together for one last rodeo. What do you say? It's the Merry Christmas, Happy New Year show. As you can see, we're festooned right here on the desk. That's Steve Cannella. This is Sally Nunez, just like the old times. I'm Mario Nunez. Thanks for being there. Hey, baby, what are we doing here?
It's the final countdown.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
It's the final countdown. What do we mean by that? Well,
end of the year.
It's the end of the year. Absolutely. We're counting it down. The end of 2015. I can't believe it, Stevie. Where did this year go, my brother?
How about this? Where did the last 5 years go?
There you go.
That we've been doing the show.
And that's what we're going to discuss tonight with you, our fans, our viewers, our sponsors. We want to make sure that we hear from you tonight before we get out of here. And this is going to be the fastest hour ever. This is the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Tonight, we're going to break that record. You know, we've had some tremendous shows over the last 5 years. I mean, I've got notes here highlighting some of the best shows. We're going to go around the table here. We're going to discuss memorable shows, a best, a worst moment, perhaps. There weren't too many of those.
I had a lot of those, actually.
We did have some, didn't we?
We did.
We had a few.
And some bloopers. We have some
bloopers.
times,
We've got some videos tonight to show you. And, of course, we're going to be taking your calls in just a little while. Steve, great to have you back on set, man.
Oh, yeah, feels good. I know.
Just like old times.
It's been, 5 months already. Can't believe it.
It has. I know you did a little guest appearance in the beginning of this season.
Right.
You came in and you kind of waved at the camera and said hello to everybody. And, of course, Sal's been here with us the whole time, but she's been answering the phones. Tonight she got pressed into duty right here on the table because, well, again, it's Christmas. It's the final countdown. We've got, you know,
and the gang's all here.
Elfin Magic and Mr. Claus is there. And listen, we're going to give you what we got.
It feels good.
And we're going to express gratitude because I think more than anything else, I'll speak for the team for a moment, but we'll go around the table and let everybody talk. You know, it's been a great run, man. 5 years, over 200 shows, Stevie?
A little over 200 shows.
Wow.
It's
a lot
incredible.
of fun. We had a lot of fun.
And they're all on our website, are they not?
Yes, I would say probably 98% of them.
98% of them on YouTube, so that you can easily, copy and paste the link and send it to a friend of yours if you haven't seen the shows in a while, or some of those old shows. You got a hankering to go back and look at some of the early days, because when it was just you and me, buddy, and we were down there at the University of Tampa on North B, those were some crazy times.
Weren't they, though?
I remember the first show.
I mean,
called into the first show.
Yes, you did, darling, because you were at home. You hadn't even really joined the production team. That very first show. Stevie, remember what we did that night?
Well, we talked about, what high school did you go to?
Yeah.
Right.
And where did you grow up? What neighborhood did you grow up
18
in?
calls we had, if I'm not mistaken. And what did we do immediately after the show, Stevie? Where did we go?
I forgot where we went. Where
Come
did we
on,
go?
Stevie. Come on, Stevie. Right now, my mother's yelling at the TV camera.
Was
you know
it
that.
wait a
Your
minute.
house?
We went to my
Oh,
mom's
that's
house.
right.
Oh,
That's right. I
really?
went to your,
I don't
you went to your
My
mom's
mom's house,
right?
which was 5 minutes from the
And we
studio.
sat there and laughed.
And we laughed because it was the first show ever.
Right.
And my
You
mom,
were sitting on stools. if I
gracious
remember
enough, my
correctly.
mom was to have DVR'd it, and then because we couldn't wait to see what it looked like,
Oh my gosh.
and it was hideous.
Well, we had the green screen.
Green screen.
and so my hair, I
Yes.
look like Jimmy Swaggart.
Yes,
know?
you did.
And
Yes, you did.
And
I
you look. I don't know what you look like. but-
I don't know. Max Headroom. I had some kind of a weird plastic hair looking thing going. I looked like the guy from the early MTV videos.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
right, that's
it was.
right.
It just kind of. It's weird. It was weird. We were sitting on stools. We had a round table, a high top table, and it just was awkward. We had our T-shirts on, so our mics were clipped funny.
But the good part was you got calls right away.
Got about
so
18?
people were out there, listening, and they were interested in telling where they went to high school and
That's
where they
true.
grew up.
Thanks
and
to-
that was the start of it.
Thanks to the article that was written on us.
Just
in
prior
the,
to the opening
in the
of it.
South Tampa section of the Tampa Tribune, they gave us a little pub, and we had, and of course, Facebook was viable at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So we did a pretty fair job of promoting. Our sponsor in that very first season, Steve,
Well, Richard Gunsmart,
the
Columbia
Columbia
Restaurant.
Restaurant,
yeah.
and our first producer of record,
That was Jeff Haynes.
Jeff Haynes.
Yeah.
The great Jeff Haynes.
yeah. He
did
We've
a
had
great
3
job.
producers. Can you name them all?
We had Jeff Haynes, Eric Cups, and now Becky.
Becky
And
Yatta.
Becky Yatta.
Yeah.
So,
all great.
We've been very lucky.
Very, very, very much so.
Very fortunate, and you know what? I will say this. I wish that we had never left the facility over there by the University of Tampa, because we started out.
I liked
Steve,
it there.
what night were we on, and what time were we on, Steve? In that first
Well,
season?
it was 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And I think was it Wednesday night at
It was
9 o'clock?
Wednesday at
right.
9.
Right. And
Wednesday
September
at
1st
9.
was the first show.
That's right, 2010. And the reality is 9 o'clock was a much better fit, much better time slot
Right.
for us.
Right.
People were home.
Because people were already settled. They'd had their dinner. They were, through the evening news complex of shows. They'd watched Entertainment Tonight, and they were just
Ready to relax.
They were ready to relax, and we got a lot of calls at that time. We didn't have any competition with Dancing with the Stars and any of that good stuff. So 9 o'clock was a better fit for us. But we had to kind of leave that complex and come out here to the University Mall.
Because of the timing, right?
Yeah.
And then we got pushed down to 7 o'clock because the mall closes by 8:30. You gotta kind of get up and out of here.
Right.
So that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Stevie, we got some clips to show tonight.
We do.
Do you want to? I mean,
Some highlights.
Funny ones.
we can ease into those
could-
right quick.
We can start with one of those. We have about 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah, let's do that. Then when we come back after this
Okay.
first clip, I'll talk a little bit about some of the things that are coming up. We will take your calls. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. You know the number. It's 813-977-6800. But hang on for just a minute.
And
What's the
Becky, well, I think the best thing to do, we do have them numbered. So we'll start with number 1, which is the, remember that?
Wanna
remember
set
the
it
show?
up? Wanna
Yeah,
set it
it's
up?
the childhood commercial jingles. Remember the old jingles we used to sing?
Oh, yeah.
This is very, very funny. You're going to enjoy this.
How much
but
running time?
It's about, it's almost 5 minutes.
Okay, well, that's a good lengthy
So,
video to
yeah.
get going.
Yeah,
So
you'll-
enjoy this, guys, because
you'll
this
love it.
was classic.
That was great.
Well, while we're on the soap, how about Manly Yes?
But
I like it too.
But I
With
like
the
it
Irish
too.
accent. Perfect.
Irish spring,
But I
but I
like
like
it
it too. All right, let me think. It's not just a job.
It's an adventure.
What branch of the military?
The Marines.
The U.S.
The
Navy.
Marines.
Oh, Navy. Okay.
The few, the proud.
The Marines.
There you go. There you go. Like a rock.
Oh, how about this one?
I
I
just
don't
gave
know
you
that
one.
one.
Oh,
I just gave you
I don't
one.
remember
You
like
can't
that.
just go throw one over mine. You got to answer mine first. Like a rock.
Chevy.
Wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen,
sound like a
forgive me
rock.
for saying so.
But see, we're all wearing these earpieces here.
Steve had no idea what that was, except that our director yelled it out, Eric Cups, from the director's booth.
No
Chevy.
fair cheating.
Hey, nobody would have known that unless you
I got it.
said it.
Cheating.
But they got to know what's going on here in the earpiece.
Hey, how about this one? Winston tastes good like a...
Cigarette should.
How about that?
All right, one more real quick. I'd rather fight.
Then switch.
Then switch. There you go. All right, let's see who's on line 5. Stevie, do what you do.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Carmen Nunez from Tampa.
Well, hey, Carmen
Hey,
Nunez, how are
Carmen.
you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to hear from you. It sounds like you've got the audio turned down there and you're all ready to go for us, and we're ready to go for you. And I have it on good account that Mr. Nunez is doing well after his little surgical procedure here a couple weeks ago, so he's on the mend.
Yes, he is.
And on further account, we understand that you can carry a tune pretty well yourself, so the pressure's on, Mrs. Nunez. if you'd like to give us your jingle tonight, we're ready.
All right. Double your pleasure, double your fun with, and the answer?
Doublemint, Doublemint, Doublemint gum.
Right,
Good.
I get bell.
You get a
Okay,
bell.
well, you get a bell, and
That's
we got a
good.
bell too. But since we've already done that one, and that was out there in the
TV land.
in TV land, and certainly on Facebook.
That's okay.
We want you to do another one, Mrs. Nunez. Are you ready for that? Can you?
Sorry, I was only prepared with one.
I knew that. See, I knew it. Okay, well, that being the case, let's see if we
He's
can get
gonna
you to
give you
answer.
a little
I'm going to give you a
trivia
little trivia. We'll
question.
have some fun with Mrs. Nunez tonight.
Okay.
All right, stay right there. Let me see. Let me see if I can. Stevie, if you got
I got one.
You got
How
one,
about-
Stevie? Go ahead.
Well, it's got to be a jingle, though, right? It can't be a phrase.
No, it could be
No,
a
it could be
slogan.
just
It could
like
be
a slogan.
Okay, how about this? The closer you get,
Oh, I know.
I know
I don't
what
know
that
that.
is.
the closer you get, the...
I've forgotten that one myself.
I know
Oh,
what
really?
it is. Can I say it?
Yes.
The more you need Noxzema.
Well, actually, the closer you get, the better you look.
Oh,
Remember that?
What?
Yeah.
Figure out the song. What
check
kind
my
of a
notes
slogan is
here.
that?
Yeah.
We've never heard that before.
Yeah,
You
I have
just
it here.
made that up.
No,
What's
really.
the product?
Which one?
The closer,
Noxzema.
Noxzema, I think, yeah. I think
It
you're
is
right.
Noxzema.
The closer you get...
Steve's just making up his own jingles on the fly, Mrs. Nunez.
All right.
We don't have any
All right,
idea.
well-
Tell you before I hang up, the set looks great tonight.
good.
Oh, good.
Good, you're
We
enjoying
like
that?
it too because we can wear green.
Because we can wear green, and we like the colors and the red
Yeah.
and the blue. Okay, I'll
Oh,
give
the,
you,
the blue looks great.
Yes.
The blue looks great.
Mrs.
We
Nunez,
agree.
answer this for us.
All right.
How do you spell relief?
How do I spell what?
Relief.
How do you spell relief? Oh, gracious.
You remember that one?
Do you remember that one? How do you spell relief?
We heard that. That's my father.
That'll
Ladies and
work.
gentlemen, that's my father laid up on his
Very nice.
his recliner
Very
there,
nice, Gramps.
yelling in the background, R-O-L-A-I-D-S. Rolaids. Very good. Well, give us your Bolita drawing number for both of you since you both
All
got
right,
the
that's
answer.
64.
64.
How about for Mr. Nunez?
29.
29 for Mr.
29.
Nunez. Thank you, Carmen Nunez, a.k.a. my mom.
My mother-in-law.
Bye. Bye, Carmen.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you. That was pretty good.
That was
You know,
very good.
that
The old
Rolaids-
man, he got the answer
That
there.
was
on
great in the background.
It's a Gramps.
Yeah, you can hear him yelling out there.
Mark, tell everyone how I asked you before the show started about that. How do you spell Rolaids?
Oh no, that was it was classic. It was a classic moment in the Tampa Natives show rehearsal just before we went on there. We're doing our mic checks, check one, check two, check one, check two, and we're quizzing each other back and forth. And of course, Steve.
I got a good one, Mario.
Steve's. I got a good one for you, Mario. I got a good one. And are you ready? So I took off my glasses and I paid special close attention. And he says, "How do you spell Rolaids?" I don't know what to say. I didn't know what to say at that point. I guess I spelled it R-E-L-I-E-F. Relief. I don't know, but that's
Yeah,
my Steve.
That was classic.
All
That
right,
was
here we
classic.
go.
Another call, huh?
Back. Let's go.
You see, not only do we preserve history here at the
Classic
Tampa Native
Steve.
Show, but we had and have a lot of fun.
We
I
preserve
tell you.
humor.
That was a great night, though,
was hilarious.
because those jingles, you know, they're in there.
They're ingrained.
and we're never going to get them out of there. So we took full liberty that night.
It was a fun show.
And we had we quizzed our callers called in, and it was a lot of fun. We gave away some Bolita drawing winnings, and so that was just one night. And you know, the Tampa Native Show, we weren't embarrassed or shy about singing.
No?
We sang
No, we
quite
like to
often.
sing.
Not even me.
We enjoyed singing, telling jokes. Sometimes we solicited for our guests to sing. You know, Ronnie Elliott came on with his guitar and he sang for us,
true.
as did Ray Villadonga with his guitar and he sang for. We couldn't get Rodney Justo to sing for anything. Rodney was not going to sing, but that's okay because we go hear him sing all the time,
Right.
which is
We
a
do.
great segue because I want to remind everybody that on New Year's Eve, which is rapidly coming up,
Before
the
you know it.
31st, Rodney Justo and Cuckoo Kachu will be playing at Bucket's Tavern and Tap, which is right there on Gun Highway in Citrus Park. They've played there several times now,
Yeah, a few
four
times.
times. And this night's going to be special because it is going to be New Year's Eve. And of course, it's not usually, it always is a sellout. So if you don't have any place else to go on New Year's Eve, and you don't have, no, that didn't sound right. Did that sound bad? I'll give myself, no! No!
Don't have any place else to go.
I didn't mean it that way. No, what I meant to say is, if you don't have any plans yet,
Yet,
better,
that's it.
Stevie?
Oh,
Yes.
All right, if you don't have any plans yet, join us at Buckets Tavern and Tap in Citrus Park on Gun Highway there. And Cuckoo Cuckoo will be playing, as well as Joey Donovan and the Lint Rollers. So it's going to be a great night. Great music, family, because, much like the Rockers, Cuckoo Cuckoo has its very, good.
True following.
True followers, right? True followers. So just know that. And be there with us. We're going to have a great time.
And get your tickets early.
Get your tickets
it will
now.
Probably sell.
Yeah, just go ahead and call Buckets Tavern and Tap
reserve, right.
to reserve your table, to reserve your spot. Yeah, thanks. We've got so many people to thank before we get out of here tonight, and we will. We will make sure to thank each and every one of our sponsors, current and past.
Quite a
been
few.
a lot of them.
And we've had so many. We've been
really
so
have.
oh, there
Very
we are
lucky.
over there. Yeah, not there, Mario, over there.
We're here
not
now.
there. Yeah, where the light's on.
That's right.
Yeah, Stevie, you remember? You got to follow the light, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Look for the light.
Stevie, so I know you prepared our videos for us this week. What else you got for us there?
Well, overall, just doing the show for 5 years. To me, it's just been a great learning experience.
Sure.
It's not like we were all sitting here trying to teach history to people. It was mainly sharing our experiences as growing up in Tampa and sharing our history, and also learning from the fans who shared theirs.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
So
We really did.
until we started doing the show, I didn't know nowhere near what I've learned in the last 5 years. In other words, there's so many aspects of Tampa that I never even realized. I knew it was there, but I never really realized it. For example, like Tampa being a baseball town.
Sure.
The highlight, garage band town.
Right.
It has so
Big
many.
time,
There's
yeah.
so many aspects to Tampa, not just one or two, but there's tons. The race car driving.
The cigar
industry
industry alone.
yeah.
Sure.
It goes on and on. So that's been.
It was a great place to
And
grow
you said
up.
that, as you said, the race car history. The 15-minute girl turned and looked at me and then looked back, and I know what that meant. That look meant, that little brief look ment, and we never did that show.
That's right.
Oh,
we
okay.
never did that
So-
show. Not because I didn't
we
tell
do
you
have,
about it.
yeah, of course, but we listen, what we're doing here tonight is, in effect, the end of our run at TBCN. We know that. We're going to be moving on. We're not going to be shutting down completely. We're going to be moving into another realm. We're going to be doing something exciting and new, because just like everything else, there's a life cycle. Fruit buds on the tree, and you have that little bud, and then the fruit matures on the tree, and then it ripens, and then ultimately it either gets picked or it falls off the tree and it rots.
So we're rotten now?
No, we're not rotting. No, we're not rotting, darling. We're not rotten. But what I'm saying is that we may have come to the end of our useful life, our shelf life, here at Tampa Bay Community Network. The mall has been sold recently. We don't know really and truthfully if things are going to change to the point where tomorrow we may get a call from the executive director, Louise Thompson, telling us, hey, we're done. We've lost our lease and we've got to go because they've told us so, which is what happened to us at the University of Tampa.
Exactly.
So what we're kind of doing is we're pulling back, regrouping. We're going to be experimenting, if you will, with internet radio. We know that, first of all, our fans, our very, very loyal fans, will follow us there, because when you're sharing stories like we share here on the Tampa Native Show, they resonate. They resonate in your ear. If you were laid up on your couch and you couldn't see, but you could just listen to the show, you would still get the same visceral effect, I feel, by listening to the commentary, by listening to us, and by listening to our guests.
Sure.
So we're going to move this into the internet radio world with an eye towards, in the next 4 to 6 months, combining both internet radio and webcasting. So the show will reemerge in a new unit in time, but not quite like you knew it before on TV. Now, that said, let me clarify, because you've heard me say this before. Lynn Marvin Dingfelder, along with her business partner Larry Wizicki, have purchased a building on the southwest corner of Armenia and Main Street called, and they've named their business Creative on Main. They're going to be finishing out that building to make it a full-fledged production facility for television commercials, for television production, just about anything you can do with a camera and sound. It's going to be a sound stage, essentially. We are hopeful that that's when we might reemerge on TV. But by that time, we're already going to be working on the internet. So hang in there with us. Yes, this is ultimately the end of our run here at Tampa Bay Community Network. but we're by no means going anywhere. Fair to say?
No, absolutely.
Yes.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have your full support? Do we have your full support? Do I see everybody at home nodding? Stevie, do we have your full support?
I don't
definitely.
see anyone now.
Steve will continue to do the yeoman's work that he's always done with the website, so the website will be there, maintained, so that you can always see those past shows. That's also going to be your repository and your go-to place when you need to find out information about what's going on with the Tampa Native Show. I mean, you can always look us up on Facebook.
For events and updates and
Events.
Right.
Talk about events. Man, over the last 5 years, dude.
We had some.
That's another aspect.
Wow.
Of it. Right. There's a lot of aspects.
I mean, I've got my, I've got my
another
list
one.
here, and I hope that wherever we end up in the next studio, we don't have this thing here that we get every time when we come into the studio.
Coffee.
Where I don't know what it
doing it
is,
too.
whether it's the asbestos that's raining down upon us here, I don't know, or this building.
Every show.
But my nose runs and I get this frog in my throat. But yeah, man, talk to me
Yeah.
about the event, Stevie. What event
We've
jumps
done-
out at you?
Well, we've done the race games especially.
Oh,
Those
they
we've
were
done what,
tremendous.
three or four of those already.
Yeah.
Those-
Private suites,
Yeah.
private sections.
The outdoor deck. We did the what was the one in the center field? What was
Yeah, that was the
um,
Captain Morgan's deck.
and the
Yes.
band after was the
That
Village
was
People.
Village People.
That
And
was fun.
That was the
That
night
was
we
a
went
lot of
dressed
fun.
as the Village
That's right.
People.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Tremendous night.
And I had the construction hat.
You were the construction
That's
worker.
right.
I was the the motorcycle, and we had the private suite in the left field corner for Mother's Day.
That's right.
And Sally's birthday and my
Yes.
retirement. We also three times met in a section out in the in the open section in the low sections there by the field. But how about this one, brother? I come to did a little review today of all the things that we did, and what I think I'm going to
lot.
miss the most initially and immediately. We'll get this back too. All the different things we did VIP style, bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gasparilla Parade.
Last year.
Day
that was
parade.
way
Gasparilla
fun.
Parade.
Yeah.
Night parade.
In the ship.
I mean,
Right.
in
On the ship, yeah.
in the day parade and the night parade.
Both.
VIPs, Tampa Theater. We walked the red carpet for Oscar night.
Oh, that's right.
Remember? I
Yep,
mean,
yep.
we did some pretty amazing
And
stuff.
fun.
It was fun. It
Fun
really
things.
was fun.
too.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Where
absolutely.
we got into the velvet rope, and sometimes they even bought our lunch for us.
Yeah, that was even.
Which was
that
very,
nice.
very cool. Okay,
Yeah,
you
we-
can buy us a café con leche anytime. Darling, do you have anything that jumps out at you? Any event or?
Well, I loved all the Gasparilla stuff. Last year was a blast too. We were there and we were
Oh,
sitting,
wow, that was another one.
And we
Yeah.
videotaped with
Yeah.
Brian K. Derry.
Brian K. Derry, Triple Knot Productions.
That was fun. Got to
Yeah,
watch
we
the
were there.
boats
I'd
come
never
in.
seen that before.
I
The
hadn't
boats.
either.
I mean, we watched the pirate ship come in.
Great seat.
Well, in the
Had
process,
breakfast in the morning.
we met so many people in the process too.
That's the other thing.
That's another thing.
That's the other thing. We had a big circle of friends. I mean, because Steve and myself and Sal, Tampa's been our home for so long. You can't help but
Have a
you
lot of
graduate
fun.
high school here. You know a lot of people, man. But this experience with the Tampa Native Show has brought us to a whole new level. Our circle of friends,
Like a network.
Yeah,
Kinda.
our circle
It
of
is,
friends
it is,
grew
yeah.
exponentially. From the events we used to have at Amaryllis,
Yep.
sandwiches and more, to
Those were fun
Festa
times, too.
Italiana, where every year we see hundreds of people. Right, Stevie?
Oh, absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
and thank you to Joe Capitano and his crew over there for always being so generous and allowing us a little bit of space over there.
And we had them on the show one time too. Remember that?
No,
Yes,
come
we
on,
did.
That was-
come on. Look, we had shows dealing with Steve's trip to Ecuador and my experience with the RNC and my retirement show. And I mean, we were on location. I mean, we spent time with Tampa Digital. We got to talk a little bit about that.
We did.
Where
Yeah, that
we.
too.
In the firehouse.
Oh wow!
That was
Remember
fun.
that show?
That was- that was
the
really
most. I think that to me was the
Slid
most.
down the pole.
Oh man, that was a bucket list item.
and the mayor
and that's
called
on
in.
video.
Yeah, he did.
And the mayor called in.
Yeah.
And the suitcase fell over.
Remember that?
Yes.
And nobody touched the suitcase in the firehouse.
Ghosts.
Yeah, the ghosts were.
Goes to the firehouse.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go
let's do
ahead.
that.
And let's bring up another. Stevie, set it up.
Yeah, let's bring up number 2, Becky.
And what's this one,
Now
Stevie? Tell everybody
this
what
one
they're
is
going to
the
see.
childhood shows. Now this is everyone remembers Gilligan's Island. I hope.
Oh
In
yeah.
fact, I remember it so well that I didn't have to read the list or
The lyrics.
I mean the lyrics.
Yeah, you didn't cheat. You didn't cheat.
No, so
you hadn't
you'll see
committed
this,
to
but
memory.
It's very funny though. You'll enjoy it, and it was done really well.
I thought so.
It was great.
Here we go. Gilligan's Island. Childhood theme songs.
Oh, here comes the 15-minute girl.
She's ready to do her thing. Thank you.
I'm ready to do my thing.
Well, if we could beg everybody's indulgence for just a minute and ask the caller to please stand by. We have something a little special planned for you.
We sure do.
And let me set this up real quick. If you will, callers, as you indulge that picture in front of you there.
Yes.
Let me remove my my jacket for just a moment. I think Stevie, you need to.
I'll be doing the same thing here.
You need to
You're with us.
We
We're
need to have a little wardrobe
getting
change.
everything ready here.
Yeah, this is for your enjoyment, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly for your consideration for maybe an Emmy or an Oscar or something just like that. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we've been working all week on this. That's the cast of Gilligan's Island, and let's see how many of you might just remember this favorite tune.
I think everyone's going to remember this.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers that sailed that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle. Was Gilligan,
The skipper too.
the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan's Isle.
That's just part of it, though.
Now, for those of you that stuck around for the closing credits, let's see if you remember the words to this part.
I bet you they're singing it at home right now.
So this is a tale of our castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They'll have to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. The first mate and his skipper too will do their very best to make the others comfortable in the tropic island nest. No phone.
No lights.
No motor car. Not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be. It's primitive as can be. So join us here each week, my friends. You're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here on Gilligan's Isle.
Very nice.
Oh, that was lovely.
That was
You
good.
messed it up too, Matt.
That
Very
was
good,
lovely.
very good.
Now,
Here is
mystery
your,
sponsor of the
mystery
week.
sponsor.
Mystery sponsor of the week.
15-minute
is-
girl.
Am I just supposed to say who it is?
Well, you're supposed to open that box and show us.
Well, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Hold
do have
the
a winner.
phone. La Segunda Central.
Yes.
And if I check my Tony Gonzalez, Tony Gonzalez.
He picks that every week, doesn't
Yes,
he?
he does.
Yeah.
Tony, it's paid off for you. Boy, not only are you going to get...
Yeah, sorry.
There it is. Hey, we're back. Well, you see what I mean? I mean, we just have a lot of fun here, and
that was
those again. How lucky were we to have grown up in Tampa at that time? Look, these things
So
were
true.
happening all over the country. We know that. Television was in its infancy. All of these television shows were fabulous, and they were playing all over the country. Of course, they were an hour earlier in Dallas and Chicago because of 7 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And when you heard that the first 100 times you heard it, you didn't know what it meant. And then you realize, oh, there's different time zones. So they started at different times. West Coast was completely different. But Tampa was special. Tampa was and remains special to us in our heart and in our minds. What's not special about it, darling? You care to elaborate?
The traffic.
Oh,
Oh,
The
yeah.
traffic is just unbelievable.
I'm with you on that.
I don't care what time of day you go out and try to drive anywhere. It's
Well,
just crazy.
Now we plan our lives around the traffic.
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
you don't go to the store. Maybe after a certain time
Yeah.
because it's less traffic.
Right.
Or kind of
Don't
alter
go
our
on the
lives,
weekends
really.
to the mall.
Yeah.
'cause it's-
So let me go ahead and offer this up now because I know Michelle Cookson is going to be real happy when I say this. Stop TBX. Stop TBX. And we've been talking about this for about the last 3 or 4 weeks. Look, I had, you remember during the election cycle last time around, man, the guy that ran for a Senate seat here in Tallahassee, Florida State Senate, his name is Jeff Brandes, okay? He had a real unique commercial going on back then when he was talking about, I'm going to take my competition to the woodshed, or something about the woodshed, man. Anyway, woodshed guy. I met woodshed guy last week, and he looked me straight in the eye and he told me that the DOT, this whole project with this TBX, expansion of the interstate, where they have these Lexus lanes where you're going to be told, not by how many times distant, it's just a mess. It's a boondoggle. $9 billion,
lot of money.
$9 billion boondoggle. We know this for a fact. He told me it was only going to cost $3 million, Steve. $3 billion, excuse me. $3 billion and it was all going to pay for itself. And then he told me this. He said, people are coming and we need to add capacity. Stevie, you know what that means?
Are we going to be able to add water to that?
People are coming, and we need to add capacity. Go, Stevie.
Well, we need more roads, more everything.
You know what you get when
we
you
need
get more roads?
green space. That's what we need.
You know what you get when you get more roads?
Less history.
Yes, good answer. Less history because, thank you, Stevie, because they're going to take, 400 foot wide this behemoth is going to be, and it's going to take more of our precious land and buildings.
Right.
But what else do you get when you get more traffic lanes?
Well, you have more fumes, exhaust.
You get more traffic.
Yeah.
It's like the fat guy.
Everything.
It's like the fat guy. And there's nobody out there that I'm offending by saying this because everybody that watches the show is beautiful and in shape. It's like the fat guy who says, you know what? I'm a little uncomfortable in these pants, so I'm going to get bigger pants until I lose weight because it's going to make me more comfortable. Guess what happens?
Keep growing.
You grow into those
Yeah.
pants.
Yeah.
So my point is this.
Bigger and bigger
We got to
pants.
stop the TBX. That's it. We're going to get off the soapbox now, but I just wanted to mention it because traffic is the one thing that
It's
I think has changed us fundamentally. Because you used to be able to get anywhere in town. And chances were the guy in the car next to you, you knew him because he probably went to high school with you.
I would go from Tampa Bay Center to Tampa High Line in probably 13 minutes.
Easy.
Any day of the week.
Easy. And if you caught the lights in sequence, you'd be there in less than 10 minutes. Sincerely.
And I can't do Sunday drives anymore.
Come on, man. Okay, so off the
enough of that.
soapbox, but
It's
anyway,
unbelievable,
stop
really.
TBX. Please pay attention, everybody, because this is super-duper important. They're doing something here that's not real cool. And the reason I mentioned Jeff Brandis is because he sits atop. He chairs the committee that's responsible for, allocating the funds, basically signing off on the check that the Department of Transportation is going to use to continue to put Bob's barricades on our highways. How about that one, brother?
Wow.
Bob's barricades. That's the only guy making money off of this stuff. All right, so I've got down here highlights and lowlights, or highlights and maybe not so highlights, not so much highlights. Stevie, highlight for you in the 5 years, brother. Do you have a top one?
Of all,
Do you have a top one,
I
man?
would
Is
have
there
to
like
say-
one moment that you go, that was it, Mario?
well, you know what? I think the one that I have, the high moment, the funniest,
Okay.
is actually on the next video, which will be great.
I
And that was for
remember
the
that.
Florida State Fair.
Oh, that was
where
pretty good.
The,
That was pretty
remember the toy, the Florida State Fair? It was the string with they're very heavy at the time, glass balls on each side.
Yep.
And you would get them, clacking with each other, and then you would cover, completely go all over your hand and clack, 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 and every once in a while would wrap around and bruise your arm.
Yeah, they were heavy.
Or it would break and
They're
a piece of
glass.
glass would fly off in your eye and you'd have to go to the hospital.
During that that show, I could not stop laughing at all.
Yeah, we would just look at each other.
I know.
Leave
and
it there,
they're-
Stevie. Leave it there so we can let everybody see
Yeah,
it in
it's
real
funny.
time. Darling, did you have a highlight?
3.
I always enjoyed when you sang to me.
Oh, okay.
That was special.
I did
On my
that.
birthday a couple times, and Christmas and
Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Thank you for
That's
saying
fine.
that. Look, I've got some moments here. Best moments
That's right.
and worst moments. I guess that's how I classified these. Best moments. Our first show, I think. Our first show was one of our best moments because, well, it was our first show, and I never thought that we would get that far, but we certainly did. Also, the Guido Maniscalco show, where the debate that never was between Guido and Jackie Toledo, because
Right.
that whole week, man, I was thrown under the bus. I was roasted. The newspapers were all over me. I was the bad guy. I was the bad man. Say goodnight to the bad man. But I like to think that we helped Guido get over the top on that deal. So that was a real highlight for me. The 2-hour Halloween special, if you've never
was
seen
fun.
that show,
Yeah,
you've
that
got
was a lot
to
of
check it
fun.
out. It's on our website. 2 hours, live TV,
That's funny.
no commercial breaks, no potty breaks. I was in a green suit,
Sweating
in
profusely.
a green unitard. I never unzipped it until the end of the show. And I was a dancing shirt, and I was about 6 or 7 different
Invisible
characters,
Man.
including
The
the
gay
Invisible
pirate.
Man.
I don't know how we did that.
Jose Sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
All the singing we did, I put
Fun.
down here.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
fun.
great, which was really great. Our special callers. We had Roy Leap call us one night, which was wonderful. Mike Ditka, Iron Mike Ditka,
Yeah, I
called
remember
us
that
when we
one.
talked about Rick Caceres. Uncle Bruce called us from Minnesota.
Yes.
And Mikey. He got Mikey
Yep,
on there
he
to
was on
talk
the
to us
phone,
as
too.
well as a rare call that we had, not a rare call, but a very special call when we showed a very rare 8mm color footage from like the early 60s. And remember the owner from Vesuvio called us.
Oh,
that
that's
night.
right.
You remember that?
The Jim
Yes, I do.
Older
That was an
gentleman.
amazing moment in
was
time. I
channel
think we
surfing.
may even have that video. I hope we do.
The Olympic swimmer also.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Brooke
Yeah.
Benton.
Right,
Brooke
right.
Benton? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
I think that's
I think it is.
Brooke
Yeah.
Benton, 3-time gold medalist, called us
Right.
the night we did our show
On the
honoring
Olympics.
the Olympics.
The Oscars. That was another night.
The Olympics.
Yeah.
And do you have Stevie, a worst moment?
A worst moment?
That's kind of an odd question.
You know what? I don't think
put you
so.
on the spot.
No.
No bad. Stevie didn't have any worst moments.
I had lots
I think
of
that's
them.
amazing considering the way he sings, but that's another story altogether.
Lots of times you would say something and I was supposed to say something else and I forgot.
And you just dropped your line. Okay, let me put down the worst moment. I'll just give you real quick the worst moments that Yeah, she's still adorable, no doubt about it. Okay, almost, and everybody's going to agree with this when I say this, almost not doing the Big 13 show.
Oh,
because
I
what you
remember
guys
that.
don't know
Yeah,
is
that was
32
scary.
seconds before we went on the air.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have a release from Channel 13, and we
Saying it
needed
was
a
okay.
release to say it was okay to use the assets and elements that we were using that night.
Yeah.
And Mike Clark had flown in here from California to do a 90-minute show on Big 13, and our producer, Jeff Haynes, was freaking out, man. He was freaked
He
the
was
freak out, if you know
sweating
what I'm
it.
saying. He was freaking out.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going
He
to do the
wasn't
show.
gonna do it.
He wasn't going to do it
Yeah.
because he just knew he was going to get his ticket punched, and they were going to take him out of here in cuffs. And to his credit, Jim Hoop, he came up with, he said he wrote a
Did.
disclaimer, and because he's a producer and he knows what
Right.
he's doing, and I was just freaking out myself, so I didn't know what,
There was a lot
I was
of curse
paralyzed,
words
I was
going on.
apoplectic.
That was a good show.
But he wrote a disclaimer, Jeff signed it, we signed it, and we went on the air in
And
time.
it was a great show.
And it was
Oh,
a tremendous show.
wonderful.
Look that one up. But you didn't know what was going on beforehand. Having to move from UT to come out here to the university, that was kind of a bad
It
moment
was,
for the
yeah,
show, because we weren't ready for
Well,
that.
the timing, too, the time of the show.
Yeah.
The move to Tampa Digital turned out to be a bad one. It was like they had us at hello. They were gonna sell our show to the networks. We were gonna be walking the real red carpet for real, and and we were gonna get a deal, and
Maybe
that
we
never
were
happened.
going to get paid.
And then kind of I wrote down here just being a little bit underappreciated here at our home at TBCN, which I'll elaborate just before we go off the air on that. So those are the lowlights, right? You got the highlights, the great moments, and then and to Steve's credit, not a bad moment.
No.
In 4 years.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, he did have one, and you're about to see it right now. Play that video.
That was fun.
Yes, that was funny.
Play that beautiful.
Number 3.
Play that beautiful.
second-
roll that beautiful
It's
bean
the second
footage.
video of the 3. There's 3 stitched together.
Yeah.
So you'll
This
see
wasn't
it.
a bad moment for Steve, though.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
What's the difference between mashed potatoes and pea soup?
I don't know.
You can mash potatoes.
But you can't
Number is 977 6800.
977-6800 as you peek around the camera there.
The camera's
Yes. I see that our unknown native has some more. Yes.
Well, you know.
There's something else that you need to do with that small bag.
I took my dog to the flea circus and he stole the show. Hey, come on, folks. I got
Or the feather, whatever it was, but you got your name on it.
Or the knockers you talked about.
Oh, God. What,
about
excuse me,
those?
what were we talking about?
Or they,
I'm sorry, Steve, could you repeat yourself?
yeah, the clackers. I mean, that's what I meant. Okay.
Clackers, not knockers, Steve. They were clackers. And that came later, much
Sorry,
later
ladies
when we were into our teen years. And I don't know who the brainiac was that came up with this idea. But
funny.
basically, there was a metal washer. There was some cord, if you will, some cord, twine cord.
funny.
They drilled a hole through 2 plastic balls and tied them off. And then there's a little red there, Steve. And then
I was in the sun yesterday.
Yeah, of course. And then the idea was to move them up and down, and somehow it made the most hideous sound. You got to play with them for about a day at your house until your father got them and took them and threw them outside because it was too loud. And then all throughout the neighborhood you could hear. Stevie, we got 2 callers here waiting to talk to you, and I'm sure they've got interesting questions for you. I've got an interesting question for you as well. I want to know more about the brawny guy that's in that picture.
That's
right
the brawny
there.
paper towel guy.
Brawny paper.
that
But
Steve?
I also want to know because you wax so eloquently about your days working at the brewery, and that the sentiment that you share with us, the fondness that you have for it, is not lost on me. I get it, man. I get it. You worked there for 17 years. You thought you were going to be there for 40 and retire from there with your gold watch and your pension. Good union paying job. You know what's coming, bro, because I can see you smiling already, and here it comes.
I have a feeling.
Dude, you worked like mad in that job. That was like a hard job.
Yeah,
How could you be like
sounds
so
like
fond of a job where you had to work so hard? It was kind of dangerous.
Well, the benefits were great.
I'm off
too.
my
I mean,
soapbox. Caller, you're on the air. We're just having fun with Steve tonight. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, this is Bob Carpenter again, Steve.
Hey, Bob Carpenter.
Oh, y'all are doing a fantastic job.
Good to hear,
Thank you,
Bob.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
calling.
You're bringing back a lot of memories. I tell you, that was a family situation out there, Steve.
Wasn't it, Bob? I mean, we were family.
It was one of those things where everybody knew each other, and it was just a good camaraderie type thing. Steve, I wanted to tell you, though, Roger Maris was in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, you're right. Thanks for correcting me a second time.
Boy.
He was in Gainesville, Florida. That was when Art Pepin come to Tampa, and then Roger took over the Gainesville distributor.
That's right. I got Jacksonville.
And I'm going to tell you what, he was in the brewery one time. Of all the years I was there, I saw him and his brother come through one time out of all those years. And he stopped and talked to several people around there and even give several people his autograph.
Oh, I never got to meet
nice.
him. That would have been great.
Yeah, but we had some great times out there, Steve. You're bringing back a lot of good memories. Y'all
Man.
keep up the good work.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you,
Good to hear from
Bob,
you.
for calling. We appreciate your call.
Do you want to
Listen,
give me your Bolita number,
There you
Yeah,
Bob?
that's right.
Okay, my Belita number is 13.
13.
Lucky 13.
and frogs or what's up, guys? Do you
I
have a-
like the frog.
Everybody likes the frogs. Somebody calling in like the what's up, guys. Hey, Bob,
Thanks,
thank you so
Bob.
much for being a fan. We appreciate
Thank
you
you, Bob.
watching.
That was a great clip, Stevie. Thanks for putting that. Thanks for correcting me a second time there, Mr. Carpenter. That was good stuff.
He called in twice.
Listen, we want to go ahead because it's evaporating
Flying
on us. It's
by.
evaporating on us. So we see that we have a caller on there. Becky is doing double duty tonight. She's actually
she's doing triple
she's
duty,
doing
actually.
amazing things. She's jumping out of the seat. She's turning up the volume. She's turning down the volume in the studio so we can enjoy the clips with you.
Yes.
She's now on the phone qualifying our first caller of the night. Let me give you the number. It's 813-977-6800. Darling, give them the number again.
813-977-6800.
Stevie, give them the number again.
813-977-6800.
I just wanted everybody to have a chance to say
Yeah.
it one more
Thank
time. 813-977-6800.
at home,
So
right?
go ahead and give us a call now and share your, kind of keep the commentary brief if you can, but share your thoughts with us certainly. I also want to say real quickly, while I get ready to take this call, we mentioned early at the top of the show, we wanted to thank our fans, of course, and we'll get back to you in just a second. We wanted to thank the staff here at TBCN for being so helpful the whole time that we were here.
Yes.
Starting with Erica Hudnell, who
Yep.
was our rock, man. Like a rock, she was our rock.
Really?
Yeah.
She was the one that whenever our cords got all tangled up, and I mean that figuratively
there.
and literally, she was always there to help us, and she was our teacher, our mentor, and she basically took us through each and every show to make sure that everything worked smoothly.
Smooth,
Thank you,
yeah.
Erica. We could not have done this without you. Jeff Haynes, we
appreciate
mentioned
you.
him, Eric Cups, and of course Becky, who's sitting behind the TriCaster currently. All those who helped throughout the time that we've been here. Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention hello Dory, who
right.
answered the phones
Yes.
for us for so
Yeah.
long. Dory, you did a great job, and we miss you still. Autria, Becky, what's Autria's last name? Help me on that.
Sharabi, I
It's
think
like
it is.
Sharabi,
I think so.
Autria Sharabi. Autria answered the phones and she worked the
sound.
sound bus for us for a
Sweet,
little
very
while as
sweet.
well. Mike Baluha for always helping us with our opening credits, our closing credits, and that wonderful theme song. I should mention Nick Nunez and Damian Garcia,
Yep.
who also worked the floor cameras for us from time to time when we needed their help with additional floor help. So.
Dan Perez.
And
Dan
Dan Perez,
Perez.
oh
Yes.
my
How
gosh,
can we
Dan the
forget
man.
Dan?
He's saved
Dan
us so
Perez.
many
That's for
times.
you, Danny. I know you're
Yeah.
not going to call us tonight, although we wish you would call. Thanks, Stevie.
Sure.
I knew I was going to forget somebody.
he's-
How could I
he's
forget
been
Dan
amazing.
Perez?
And
Really.
your
Thank you,
wife who
Dan.
puts up with you.
Of course, and she's always in studio with us.
not
Thank
easy,
you, darling.
folks.
Thank you. Let's go to line 4, and we do have a line open if you'd like to call in and share your thoughts. Caller, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, it's David Benito calling.
Hey, David
Hey.
Benito.
How are you?
Good, how you guys doing tonight?
We're doing good, Papa.
Great.
Tell us the story. A quick one.
Well, it's not a show, but one of my it's actually two games. There's the two games I went to where we had the bullpen suite and then
Yes.
the private suite up in the
Yeah, left field corner.
those were great, and all those all the shows you did. I remember one high school football show that you did. Why
Yes.
talked about my time on Roland Acosta's staff.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I'm gonna miss you, but bigger and better things, I guess.
Friday Night Lights. No.
was
You
great.
don't have to guess. Bigger and better things, absolutely. It's not, I guess, and don't be sad. I heard sadness in your voice, young man. Don't be sad because nobody's going to weep up here, although we might after the lights go dark tonight. But we're going to be there with you. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to kind of go over there for a minute. So follow us on the radio. Stay with us. And listen, I got it on good account that there's an event next Monday night at Leroy Selman's. You doing an event there on Monday night?
Absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. As many of your viewers know, my USF Bulls are playing in a bowl game for the first time in 5 years.
That's right.
Great.
Good.
Went up
Good.
to Miami to actually Mullins Park. Kind of speaking about baseball, going out to Mullins Park to take on the Hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
Let's do it.
I'm actually formerly coached by Coach Willie Taggart. and we're getting together at the Stadium Leroy Selman's, the original Leroy Selman's, the original home of the USF Tampa Alumni Watch Party.
Are you guys in that small room in the back, Davian? Or are you in a larger area there?
Actually, we're going to be as this now. We're going to be in the front area, the big area, where the big,
immediately to your right, where that big screen is.
Yeah, all the TVs are going to be on the balls. We got some great prizes.
Do we need reservations, or can we just show up?
Just show up. Kickoff is at 2:30 on Monday. I'm getting there a little early. Start setting up, decorating. Have that.
Did you say 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday?
Yeah.
What's happening on Monday? People got to work on Monday.
Well,
how are you going to have a bowl game at 2:30 in the afternoon on Monday?
That's when they're playing.
40, with 40 bowl games, they have to do some at unusual times.
Oh, hell, that's even better for us. Okay, save me a seat. We'll be there.
Okay, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks for
David. We
calling,
love you, man.
David.
We love you. We've always looked
Thanks.
forward to your calls,
Right.
okay? And thanks for sharing all those wonderful stories about your mom
Over
and
the
Christmas
years.
and the
Dad.
holidays, and your dad as well.
Oh, thank you.
We know how much your family means to you, and we love you for that.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's David
That's
Benito.
great. He's been a great caller all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Always
man, he
has.
has. Don't let me get started
5
because I
years.
get a little weepy. All right, I'll get to the next caller here in just a second. The events that we had at Tropicana Field, Tampa Theater, the Cuban Club, King Corona Cigars. Can I just take a big breath and get through this list of sponsors?
Better
Can I
do
do
it
that?
before we run
have
out
to
of
do that.
time.
Okay, you guys bear with me, and if I have forgotten anybody, you're out there watching and I've forgotten you, forgive me, call me and tell me so, because I think I got everybody on this sponsor list. All right, ready, Stevie?
And then some.
List.
Here we go. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Do it. The Columbia Restaurant, Goody Goody Burgers, Caracolillo Coffee Mills, Joe and Sons Olive Oil, The Sea Breeze, Chifles Plantain Chips, La Segunda Central Bakery, Festa Italiana, PJ Testa Accounting, South Tampa Chiropractic Clinic, King Corona Cigars and Cafe, Dr. Bill Geyer, Witt Fence Company, DBG Financial Group, Wright's Gourmet Sandwich, Housewife Bakery, Alessi Bakery, Castillo's Cafe and Catering, Magnan Jewelers, Swope and Rodante, Columbia Jobbing, Costantino Real Estate, Pepito's Portraits, The Colonnade Restaurant, Integrity AdWorks, Tampa T-Shirts, The Pancake House, Tampa Yankees, Edmore's Cadillac, Mr. Empanada, Amarilli's Sandwiches and more, J.C. Newman Cigars, Cigar City Magazine, Cacciatore Brothers, Mike's Delivery, Tampa Tile, Golf Tile, Tampa Eye Clinic, Gonzalez and Bird Attorneys at Law, La Gaceta, The Tiny Tavern, Mr. Pete Macaluso, Montaro's, Ristorante, Cafe Caribe, P&K Printing, and 4 Imprint.
That's great.
That's an impressive list.
That is very
a lot of help from the community.
Thank you
for the
so
show.
much, you
Thank
guys. We could not have done this. We could not have funded this show. We could not have done the magical things that we did for as long as we did without your love and
Thank you
support.
very much.
You know what another highlight was, Stevie?
What's that?
I better throw it out there right now before I forget. Dude, we
fun.
were on the cover.
Oh,
We were on
that's
the
right.
cover of Cigar
that's
City
right.
Magazine.
That's right. That was big.
Dr. Paul and Shock Armstrong.
That's right.
Go on, you man.
That
That
was great.
In your wildest dreams, would you have ever thought you'd been on
No.
the cover of any magazine?
No, not at all.
And Cigar City Magazine enjoyed a healthy circulation.
They
so
did. They
I'm
sure
just
did.
saying, thank you so much.
was
Line
exciting.
4. Caller, thank you for waiting. You're on the air with the Tampa Native Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Augustine Fraga.
Hey, Augustine
Hey,
Fraga,
Augustine.
how are you?
Praise the Lord, I'm doing great.
All right, very good, very good. What say you?
I got to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and whatever else.
And Festivus for
Thank
the
you.
rest of us. Attaboy. That's for
Thank
you,
you.
Augustine. Hey, do you have a favorite show that just jumps out at you? Something that comes to mind?
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. What?
Yep. Did you have a favorite show? Something that comes to mind? One of our shows in the past that you kind of remember?
Oh, Lord. The one where, oh my goodness, the owner of Columbia Restaurant,
Sure, Richard Gunsmark.
Richard Gosmark. That was one of my favorite ones because I got to hear about Goody Goody Restaurant where
Yeah.
you could
Yes.
try to open it up again. And
It's
a
coming.
few other things.
Yeah.
It's coming, right? It'll be here before you know it. Spring of 2016. Augustine, thank you
Praise the
so
Lord.
much. I know you joined our fan base, into the process already. We were probably a couple, 3 seasons into
Yeah.
this.
I think so.
But listen, we appreciate each and every one of our fans. We know we met you down there at King Corona Cigars and Cafe. Look, be on the lookout for us, man. We're not going away. We're just going to move over there for a minute and check in on our website, tampanativeshow.com. Would you
Right.
do that?
I sure will.
Thank you, Augustine.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Merry Christmas to you as well. Happy Hanukkah, and to you and your family.
Amen.
Thank
Merry
Christmas.
Thank you, brother.
you.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.
We do have a line open. Please call us. We'd love to hear from everybody. I know we're dwindling down to the last few minutes, but please do call us. We do have a line
Or
open.
send us an email.
Darling, take this one. Go.
Hello, caller. You've got the Tampa Native Show. Can you tell
Don't
us
get
where you're
tongue-tied, baby.
Yes.
Tell us your name.
This is a Sally special. Tell us where you're
Tell us your
calling
name, where you're
from.
calling from.
My name is Hello Dory, and I'm calling from Tampa.
Hi,
Hi,
Dory.
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 Well, hello, Dory.
Hello, Dory. In fact.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just saw you guys look great on TV.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
And I do miss all of you.
Miss you too.
We miss you
miss
too.
you as well.
And all the shows were basically my favorite.
Oh, that's a bell.
Yeah.
That is a bell. Thank you, Stevie. I was thinking, as you were saying that, the reason I was slow on the bell there, thanks, Stevie, was because I was kind of going over real quick. The other day, we were watching some of the shows, getting the clips ready. Well, you started a lot of our shows for us,
Yeah,
remember?
did.
I know.
You were out there with the microphone saying, "Hi, this is Hello Dory." Do you remember all those jingles? And the one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy. Well, stay tuned because the Tampa Native Show starts right now. That was great, Dory.
And the one with the Halloween where I had to talk like transvestite.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Amazing. You had the spider girl,
Right,
right?
right.
The spider. It was great. It was great.
Thank you so much, Dory, for
thank you
volunteering
for
your
doing that.
time. We really
Oh,
appreciate
I had a
it.
great time, and I also want to mention, we celebrated at the Columbia restaurant Mario's birthday.
That's true.
We were in the La Caseta, I found out. I didn't know that.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Really
The
cool.
picture that Kimberly DeFalco took actually ended up. It was a week later, but it did make the cut.
Oh, that's great.
I found out I was at a private party, and someone said, "Oh, we saw you on the show." So on the
And the newspaper.
You got to frame that.
But let me say, Dory, before we get out of here, let me just say that first of all, we love you. You know that. That goes without saying. And the work that you did for us was spectacular. And we're going to get together again down the road. Whatever we do with the Tampa Native Show, you're going to get first right of refusal to come back and join the team if you wish to. Now, that said, let me just say for the audience that may not know this, but yes, we did show up, Sally and I, Papi Chulo style, at about 11 o'clock before they opened the doors to the Columbia, and we scooched right on in, and we celebrated 1905 Day, and it was my birthday, and it was really, really, really cool. But what you don't know is that Dory, Hello Dory, was there at 3 o'clock in the morning, like a loca, with her lawn chair, sitting there on the curb. Actually, she was in the safety of
Saving
her
the
car
spot.
because it was Saturday night.
First
into Sunday
in line.
morning. She was first in
First
line.
in line. Oh my God.
Okay,
Yeah.
she was there before the guy
Wow.
that opened the door was there. Anyway, Dory,
Yeah,
we couldn't
thank
thank you
you.
enough
Thank
for
you, Dory.
that.
That was fun.
It was your weekend. It was your birthday. We had to.
It was pretty special. It was pretty special. Thank you, baby. We appreciate it, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Talk to y'all soon.
And I got
Love
your
you,
text
Dory.
message, so we'll talk a little bit more about that Cuba trip in just a minute.
Yes, that's fine.
Bye,
Bye, honey.
Dory.
Okay, salute and happy days.
Thank
To you as well. Bye-bye. And to Alan, of course.
Yeah.
That's great.
Caller, you're on the air with the Tampa Native Show. I can't believe we've got less than 5 minutes to go. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Mario, this is Philip Testa.
There's my Philip Testa. Hey, PJ.
How are you?
Listen, I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a tear in my eye, brother.
Listen, we're not going
can see
away.
it.
We're not
I
going
can see
far.
it.
We're not going far. But we've got to make some moves, PJ, because the boat is taking on water,
Yeah.
and we don't want to get that call in the middle of the night saying, we don't even have a boat anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
The ground is shifting underneath us here at TBCN, and we just can't afford to get caught with our fanny hanging out. So
Will you make sure you inform me as to what you're going to be doing?
I'm not going anywhere without you, P. I mean,
I'm going to be there for you.
Of course, and we love you for that, and thank you so much. Is there a show that jumps out at you that kind of you remember first and foremost?
There's two, one that I liked and one that my wife liked.
Okay.
The one I liked was the shows from the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
Yep.
Remember we talked about all those good old wholesome TV
Right,
shows
Of
back in
course.
those days.
Yep.
Yes.
And my wife loved the ones you did on the different restaurants, including Sea Breeze,
Oh, yeah.
all that good stuff.
yeah.
Man, that was just some
Columbia.
good
Mom and Pop.
stuff.
Yeah.
It was.
Tampa is renowned, and it's once again becoming now in a new unit in time a foodie town. I don't
It
know what that
is,
exactly
yeah.
means, but they're starting to market Tampa as a foodie town.
Different types of
Right,
food.
well, that's fantastic.
It is
Yes,
for me too.
yeah.
We love you, PJ. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
PJ.
for your support.
Always.
You don't know how much it's meant to
I'll
us.
always be there for you guys.
Thank you
you,
so much.
PJ.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
You're
3
right,
minutes
it's
to
supposed
go.
pass the show.
3 minutes.
Of all.
Stevie, say something, man, before we get out of here, because I got to say something real quick. Go.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for sticking with us for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful experience. And like I said, it's a tremendous learning experience.
Wow.
Oh, and also one of my favorite shows was the day it snowed in Tampa.
Yeah,
January
that was
19th.
We're going to get another one of those this year.
1977.
I know it doesn't feel like it now because it's 85 degrees and it's almost Noche Buena, but it's going to snow this January. Go, baby.
I just feel like we're all just one big giant family, all of us Tampa people, and we love Tampa, old and we're trying to love the new, but
Yeah.
the old was really the best. And having the opportunity to grow up here at that time in Tampa, when it was such a small town and everybody knew each other, it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'm very thankful for that.
Yep, and for me, I can say without any trepidation, this has been the most amazing experience. What a labor of love. I mean, it's hard. It's hard
It is a
because
labor,
you
too,
you
yeah.
got to put a show together each
Yeah.
and every week. You got to come up with a new topic. Sometimes we hit it out of the park. Sometimes we fouled it off.
Yeah.
But I think overall, our body of work. It stands on its own,
Yeah.
and we're grateful. We're grateful for the opportunity to have come and sit in front of you. But again, where would we be
Without
if
you.
it weren't for you?
Right.
So you are fans, our loyal, very loyal
Made the
fans who
show.
have been there each and every week. Some of whom call in regularly. Some of who just like to watch and don't necessarily want to
We know
chime
you're
in.
out there,
Right.
though.
We do know you're out there, and we feel the love. And wherever we go in this community, we hold our head up high because we know it's with a great sense of pride that we represent Tampa natives. So I just want to say that's Becky Yatta right there.
our
Becky,
wonderful
thank you so
producer.
much,
Thank
Becky.
you, Becky. We love
Thank
you.
you, Becky.
Becky is amazing. She's a one-man band tonight. She's doing everything by herself.
Literally.
We have to move on here from TBCN. I know that it's just unfortunate, but we've kind of outgrown our shell. It's sort of like the lobster that outgrows his shell, or the hermit crab that outgrows his shell, and you just got to kind of move on. So that's what we're doing. I just want to say, Stevie, our lives have been kind of attached at the hip for the last 5 years.
Yes.
Dude, I appreciate
Definitely.
everything you've done
Oh,
for us, man.
Well,
And look,
likewise. to
and
both of y'all.
we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this thing going.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
we're not done. Darling, I'm going home with you, so, I don't have to say anything.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, there you go.
There's still a lot of stories to be told.
We're going to go to the Balujas house after this show here, and we're going to throw one back and watch the Bucks tonight on
Yeah.
TV. Let me just say one last time, guys, raise those cups.
do it.
On behalf of everyone that has put this show together and everyone out there who has supported it with their love and their contributions, all of you guys, we could not have done this, and we
No,
feel a great
no
debt
way.
of gratitude towards
Thank you.
you for that. For the last time,
I know.
that's Steve Canal.
sad.
This is Sally Nunez. I'm Mario Nunez. Salud and happy days. We love you, Tampa.
Yes, we do.
Merry Christmas and Happy
New Year.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you on the radio.
Bye-bye.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, a city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history, yeah.
All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Native Show.